are in front of the Richland Center Auditorium Theater. And what do you think of when you're here? Usually a theater production, the topic of our show. Talking to director Andrew Sharp and Cameron Cormican about an upcoming play. It'll be opening in March called Escanaba in the Moonlight, and it's about a comedy about hunting traditions.
Here we are in the beautiful downtown auditorium, Performing Arts Center here in Richland Center on North Central Avenue on the stage. And here's Andrew Sharp, the director of the upcoming play. And it is?
Escanaba in the Moonlight.
In the or da?
In the Moonlight. Okay. Escanaba in the Moonlight. Written by Jeff Daniels of Dumb and Dumber fame. And it's a comedy that we're doing, and it's about deer hunting in the UP, something that I'm hoping will be interesting to those of us here in Wisconsin who have probably been to the UP at some point. Mm-hmm. Actually, that's one of the main characters' first questions of the audience is going to be who here has been to the UP. But it's a comedy, a small show, but it's about the opening night of deer hunting. In other words, it's the Friday night before deer hunting opens, and all sorts of crazy things happen, as one might expect. So.
Is it set in any particular year, or is it just present day?
It's supposed to be 1989.
Oh.
Now, and that was Jeff Daniels originally wrote this as a stage play, and I've looked around and I can't find exactly the year that he wrote it and did it. It might have been 89 for all of that. But then when they turned it into a movie in 2001, it was basically a flashback to 1989, or that's basically how it was set up. So it's supposed to be 1989.
All right. Now, the accent, I'll call it.
Yeah, the Yooper accent.
Is that real, or where does it come from? Has it drifted down like from Canada?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's up from Canada and from up there like that. It's Yooper. It's Charlie Barron's kind of does a Yooper accent. Maybe not quite Yooper, but he's supposed to be Wisconsin.
He's kind of Fox Valley talk.
All right. So this is a Yooper accent. It's farther up there maybe.
Yeah.
And it's probably exaggerated. And,
I think it is.
And all the folks in the UP are probably insulted and outraged by this, making fun of their accents. But hey, it's supposed to be funny,
Sort of D's, do's, and dis kind of thing?
Yeah, well, that's kind of...
Well, it's not Detroit.
No, because the DNR agent shows up in the show.
Yeah.
And he's played by Dwayne Rose, but he's from Detroit, so he does not have the Yooper accent, you see.
That's good.
Yeah, he does not. He's the only one there that does not have... Well, I don't know if he's the only one that doesn't have it, but he doesn't have it, so...
Do you have a coach who's coaching you? A dialect?
No, everybody's doing their Yooper accent. The father is being played by Greg Schmidt, and he has that Yooper accent down cold. I think Ruben, the son, is being played by Matt Rowe. He is also doing a good Yooper accent. Alex Miller is playing the other son, and his Yooper right now is kind of varying between Yooper and Scottish. But we're working on him, and...
I think he's been in too many plays.
Yeah, he's been in too many plays, done too many accents.
Right.
Of course, I've got Glenn Dunn, who is outstanding with accents.
Oh, yes.
And he's one of the assistant directors. Now, Dave Tim is also an assistant director, and he actually grew up in Green Bay. So
Oh, yeah.
he does a perfect Uper accent as well, and would probably tell you that it's an accent that he heard growing up, so he's very familiar with it. And then we've got Dwayne Rose, and we have Cameron Cormican here
Oh, when did you come in?
as the Jimmer.
The Jimmer, what is that?
The Jimmer is Jimmer. What's his last name? It rhymes with Menominee.
Nagamani.
Jimmer Nagamani from Menominee, and he's been abducted by aliens. So which is not unusual. You know, Al, the father, says we get 2 or 3 of those a year at Bennett. That's nothing usual. But they actually took him up in the ship, and then when they brought him back, he was a little strange.
Oh.
He could drink huge amounts of alcohol. He talked differently, and he was perhaps more excitable after this experience with the aliens. So, yeah, Cameron as the Jimmer. And then Cassidy Mancia Young is playing Wolf Moondance, who is an Ojibwe woman who is married to Reuben, and she's also in the show. And she does not have a Uper accent.
Oh, no.
No, she's really not a Uper, although the Ojibwe tribe is certainly up there and in Canada as well.
Now, Menominee's on the border. Is that way up Wisconsin-Michigan border?
No, I don't think
There are twin
Menominee-
cities, sister cities.
No, Menominee is farther down into Wisconsin. I mean, it's not far from the border, but I don't think it's on the border.
Okay.
I did win Dave Tim's trivia contest, and one of the questions was Wisconsin counties, or one of the categories, but I'm afraid I
Is that
didn't
Florence County?
phone up on.
Way up Florence, extreme
Florence
northeast?
is up there, but I can't tell you exactly what's on the border.
Okay.
I'd have to look at a map.
Now, back to these abductions.
Right.
Is that always occurring at kind of like bar time, if you know what I mean?
Well, that's possible.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
There's a lot of, we're standing here on what is going to be the stage for the show, and it is from such humble beginnings that the plays arise. And in this case, we've got the card table that every hunting shack has got to have.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And the euchre deck. We've got our euchre deck here so that they can play euchre, and they play euchre during the show. We've got a sofa. We've got the father's chair. And this is what's going to be bunk beds. But in the back there, we're going to have walls with windows, and the lights from the aliens or whoever can be seen through the windows that are yet to be built here. So, yeah.
So is it established that, I mean, this could be a passing car, but they think? But am I spoiling it?
No, well, maybe sometimes it's cars pulling in. Maybe sometimes it's aliens. Maybe it's spirits. Maybe it's who knows
Well, it sounds,
what it is.
it sounds
but
endearingly chaotic.
It could be a lot of things. Perhaps the Ojibwe have done something, and it's the spirits that are doing it. I mean, I guess you'll have to come to the show to find out exactly who or what it is.
Well, it's a great space. We say this every time because it's true. It's
Right.
always good to use the downtown auditorium.
Great. Yeah, I'm pleased to be able to use it. It's got the best acoustics here in town. It certainly has some of the best acoustics, I think, in southern Wisconsin. And it's nice to be doing a show here because all the community players' stuff is here.
Oh,
Pretty much all of it is here. So instead of having to run to the auditorium and then run to the high school or the campus or wherever with the stuff, it's all right here, so we can get our stuff here.
and the whole cast is just chock-a-block full of veterans of the
Yes.
stage.
Yes.
Going
this
back,
is- Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Schmitz goes back to the 1990s on campus,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So Greg Schmidt's been in many shows. How many, I don't know, 10, 20, I would say. Alex Miller, of course, has
Yeah.
been in shows not only here, but in Baraboo and other places. He's a real stage veteran.
Yep.
Matt Rowe would have played Buddy the Elf when we did Elf the Musical, and he was in Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and so he's got 2 or 3 shows under his belt. Cameron, I guess you can talk to Cameron about how many shows he's done, but again, another real veteran. And then, of course, there's not only my experience on stage, which goes for 30 years, but then Dave Tim as well and Glenn Dunn as well as the assistant directors. We're bringing a lot of experience to bear on this show, and hopefully that'll pay off in the end.
Oh, it will.
Yeah, it's a funny show that I'm hoping a lot of people will be willing to come to.
Now, I was thinking, now, I wonder how many plays, what was Cam's first play in this area, though?
In this area?
Yeah.
Was Anne of Green Gables. That was what, 2017?
Oh, I thought,
That's a good guess. It's always hard to remember exactly what your shows were.
I thought it was before that, but I wasn't in it, so what do I know?
Yeah. That was the first show. Which is funny because I had been in a smattering of shows here and there, like in Baraboo and whatnot. And when I first moved to this area, my mom asked if, because I was going to only temporarily move here, and then I ended up being super glue. Stuck to me. And my mom asked me, so are you going to go audition for the next show? I'm like, I don't know. And I don't know if I'm even staying. Why? What's the show? And she said, it's going to be Anne of Green Gables. I said, yes, I'm auditioning.
Okay.
Because I've always been in love with that story. And then I just kind of got bit. And now, if it's a show, I'm auditioning. I don't care what it is.
Have you been in every show?
Lately, he's been in every show,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I think I've only missed a couple of shows since I've been here. I didn't get a part in that radio thing during the pandemic. And then, of course, there was that solo piece that Shay did. Of course, Shay was the only one in that. But I think I've been in just about every other one.
You were in the variety show in that
Yep.
the crematorium up there when I was doing video. Summer of,
22, I think it
was it 22? Yeah.
We did a variety show in a crematorium.
Well, it was on stage here, but there's no air conditioning, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, we attempted to do a show in the summer here. And that's when we found out that you don't do shows in the summer in this theater because it was either the audience roasts or we have fans and nobody can hear anything.
Oh, okay, all right, all right. So I was not part of that.
There were skits and
Variety
Right.
show, right.
I did
singing.
The Indianapolis speech from Jaws.
Okay.
And I also did a little stand-up comedy routine, The Dentist. And then we did a little mini play written by Sharon, which was a hypothetical prequel to Gilligan's Island.
Nate McDougall and somebody else did Who's on First. I
Yep.
forgot who the other person is.
I think that was Colt.
Oh, yeah, okay, it was, yep.
And let's see. Lily, Nate's girlfriend, she did a dance number.
Yeah, I remember that. I was very, very impressed with that, yeah.
Liz sang The Girl in what is it, 32B?
Right, which is very entertaining and
Delightful song.
very well done, yeah.
And
Liz Niemeyer.
and Sydney, Sydney Roan,
Right,
Amy's daughter, and a friend of hers opened the show with this kind of modern dance number, which was all based on some hip hop song, something about "We're back" to announce that now that we can perform live, we've returned. It was a fun time.
It was. And this play opens March what?
This is going to open Friday, March 14th, and then Saturday, March 15th, Sunday, March 16th. It's only going to be one weekend, at least that is the plan now. So we're hoping that everybody realizes that and comes to that one weekend. Kind of the last thing to happen before spring springs, I'm hoping. So, yeah. Shows will be on Friday and Saturday at 7 o'clock p.m., on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Tickets are just $10 at the door, and there should be plenty of tickets available. So there's really no need to reserve them. So
Who's doing lights?
lights are going to be done by Kevin Riley.
Oh,
and
yes, yes.
His son Alaric will hopefully help out. I might get Brandon Merkel into kibitz on the lights if necessary. But it actually is a show that is very much, the lights are a big part of it. You know, there's lights coming in, and generally the stage lighting, I want to use our existing lighting and not bring lights in.
Yeah.
We often are bringing in LED lights now because they're the modern technology. And we've got these old, basically analog lights, but I want to use them instead of bearing the expense of bringing in LEDs. So.
And you are going to have a wall back here, part of the set?
Yes, yeah, the set will have walls, and it'll look like a hunting shack. And it'll have stuff in it that a hunting shack would, you know, have in it.
Including our recent discussion on chat whether we're going to have a moose head.
Right, yeah. I'm afraid a moose head would be too big and would dominate the set too much, but maybe we'll put it out in the lobby or something like that.
Do you have anything left over from Lumberjacks in Love, for example?
We still have things from Lumberjacks in Love, but that was a campus show, so that stuff is out at the campus.
That was
and
2009?
That's a good guess. Yeah, it was before Corey Bob died. This show will be dedicated to Corey Bob, who passed away, was one of the main people in Lumberjacks in Love, and who he loved Escanaba in the Moonlight. Corey had a bad heart, and when he was a boy, they went in and did a heart operation, and after he got out of the hospital, they asked him what he wanted to do, and would you like to go see a movie? Yes, and he picked Escanaba in the Moonlight to go to, and so we're dedicating the show to him. We're also hoping to have a portrait of Lance Maloney on stage, another one of our young men who tragically passed away. Still hard to believe, and we're hoping to have a portrait of him on the stage as well, although it might not be instantly recognizable to people. So
Yeah,
in
I was
any
going to guess maybe wearing,
yeah.
like he's ready to go out into the wilderness.
No,
Oh.
actually, it's going to be. I'm ruining the surprise. But there's a portrait of everybody's, of the father's wife and the boy's mother in the cabin, and Glenn had the brilliant idea of getting one of the pictures of Lance when he was in drag, when they were when they did Coppersmith Inn.
Oh, sure.
This Coppersmith Inn, and Lance stole that show, in my opinion.
Well, Lance and Ezra.
Well, Lance and Ezra, but mainly Lance, truth be told, and so we're talking about, putting a portrait of him for the fun of it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Great.
What else do you need to declare about this play? It doesn't sound like it's a long play.
It is not a long play. In fact, it's almost guaranteed to be an hour and a half long. Now, with an intermission, you can add 10 or 15 minutes to that, but definitely under 2 hours. And I can say that from our read-throughs and from looking at versions of it on YouTube that clock in at like an hour and 26 minutes. So
Okay.
It's an hour and a half play.
Are there any, is it a family play?
It is a family play, especially in modern times. I guess that there are some curse words in it, nothing too serious.
Well, I mean, The Jimmer has a number of curse words, not that you can understand it.
Right, that are repeated. And then there are mildly sexual situations a time or two. But you know, it's given the backdrop of what is on just Facebook and stuff like that, I don't think that it is anything too outrageous.
Okay. In the modern world, if the nightly news it doesn't shock you, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Well, I will return another time, probably early March, and see what's going on when you're constructing the set.
Oh, by that time, I'm guessing it's going to be constructed. You know, Greg Schmidt is a very experienced carpenter, and I think can put the set up with the help of Dwayne Rose, who's also a good carpenter, and Dave Tim, for that matter. I've got a lot of people. So, yeah, we should be decorating the set with moose heads and license plates and things like that by that time, hopefully.
Well, I'll have to come back sooner than I just said then.
Yes, yeah. Maybe
All right.
mid-March.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, Ben, as always.
Well, the local groundhog said it would be an early spring, so we'll see, but we know for sure Valentine's Day is coming up, and we hope you'll tune in often to see what's going on around Richland Center.